10 years ago when this game got introduced, we all wondered when we played our respective roles, what role is the hardest and the most responsible for winning games? So today we're going to take a little bit of a deeper look to find out just exactly what role in Overwatch is the most difficult to master and be effective with. Nine times out of the 10, the DPS on your team is always going to say that every other role is easier than theirs. The tanks always say that the supports don't ever give them heals. And a lot of the times the supports really just say that the DPS just presses left clicks and aim. But today we're going to settle this debate by breaking down every role based on skill, pressure, and punishment for the mistakes that each role makes. And by the end of this video, we're going to pick a winner of that topic. Before we argue, we need to define what hardest really means. And it all boils down to what role takes the most mechanical skill, the best game sense and decision making, pressure and responsibility, and how badly mistakes get punished if you don't do something the right way. The hardest role isn't just about aim, it's about who carries the most weight in every single team fight that you get into. DPS is the most mechanically demanding role in Overwatch. If your aim just isn't good, you're not going to get value. Heroes like Widowmaker, Tracer, and Genji, and Sojourn honestly, require some really good aim, really fast reactions, and perfect positioning for their characters, especially Tracer and Genji, because like one bad peek and you're instantly dead. DPS also carries the pressure of getting eliminations, and if you're not getting picks, your team feels useless because that's the same amount of people fighting on each other's teams. It's always going to just be a bad thing. But that also goes and ties in with support, but we'll get to that later. But DPS usually has the least responsibility for keeping the team alive. You can still make mistakes and still win if you're a tank and support carry. Now let's talk about support. Support has to do literally everything at once, and that's including healing your team, dealing damage enough to help the DPS. You have to manage your cooldowns really well, and some of those are hard to do, especially like Baptiste with the 30-second immortality field, and you're trying to also not die. So like Zen and Ana, they don't have ways to get away from things, so they're going to die a lot more than like your Mercy or your Bap. Supports are the main target for every fight because they are literally the backline of everything. And so heroes like Ana and Zenyatta need aim and positioning. And Kiriko and Baptiste, they need perfect cooldown timing because if you, like one Suzu from a Kiriko can save an entire fight. If the tank dies, it's your fault. If DPS dies, it's your fault. If you die, the fight's already over. Support is just mentally and physically exhausting if you're just only playing support. So, you know, try to play some other roles here and there. But support can still play safe from the backline and provide value. A lot of the times you'll have certain characters are meant for certain things. And so with this new Overwatch update that they just put out, it's actually a lot better because it shows you the different things that each support role is supposed to be doing. So some of them are mainly for healing, some of them is for utility, some of them is for, you know, being able to keep up with fights and damage at the same time. And not every single support character is going to play the exact same. Now, tank. Tank controls literally the entire match. You decide when to push, where the team fights, and when to retreat. Every mistake you make is obvious, and every mistake that you make gets punished. Miss one ability as a tank and your whole team explodes. Tanks are first into every fight and the last out. Playing tank really requires on-the-nose perfect positioning, perfect cooldown management, making sure you know what your enemy's ultimate is at, and team coordination. You're not just playing a hero, you're leading the entire team to victory. Also, with the new system and how different tanks are meaning to do different things, you always want to keep in mind what roles they're playing and what roles that you need to play to counteract what they're playing. Because if they have a Zarya, no way in hell you're going to go Diva. If they have a Ramatra, no way in hell you're going to go Reinhardt. You just have to also find out the counter picks for each of these tanks, but they also all do different things with the new passive abilities. Like for the initiators, if you the longer you stay in the air, the more you get healed. You have like a certain amount of time before you start healing
damage from yourself while you're midair. So that's like Diva, Doomfist, Winston, and the ball. And the initiators are meant more for like, you know, diving into the team, diving into the backline, getting the healers down to either 0 health or very low so the DPS can finish them off. They're supposed to be the ones that get into the fight and are able to back out. But I'm not going to spend my last couple of minutes talking about each individual tank role's passive. If you want to find out for yourself, find out for yourself. But let's get to the hardest role in Overwatch. Mechanically, it's DPS. Mentally, it's support. But overall, the hardest role in Overwatch is tank. I mean, the tank has the most pressure, has the most responsibility, and it has the biggest punishment for mistakes. You don't really just play tank. You carry the direction of the entire match, and one little slip up can cost you the entire team fight and have them push the objective way farther or capture the objective way farther than you. And so you just don't want to make a single mistake, and every other role has the ability to at least make a few mistakes, but you do not. But at the end of the day, that's just my opinion. You can let me know what your opinions are in the comments below. You know, let me know if you think it's DPS, support, tank. Let me know why. And if you like the Overwatch content, I'm going to be posting a lot more. So just let me know what you guys want to see, and let me know what your favorite role is, your favorite character is. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye. Also, if you're still here, please be nice to your tank main. Unless you're just being an idiot, be nice to your tank main. They go through a lot. All right, bye-bye.